Welcome to everyone here that's joining us socially distanced today, as well as everyone who's joining us virtually. My name is Suzanne Grubmeyer. I'm the Executive Director of Arkansas Parks and Recreation Foundation. The foundation is focused on improving the quality of life of everyone living in and visiting the natural state. Through fundraising, facilitation, and directing of private resources, we are able to create meaningful, sustainable, and innovative outdoor places and experiences, places that, by design, enrich people's lives through unique and powerful connections to nature. I know I speak for our board and team when I say today is uniquely special. In the midst of the pandemic, which has held no punches, we are so pleased to be with you today with some exciting news that benefits all Arkansans. I'm joined today surrounded by many esteemed leaders who have a vision for greatness for our state and support the vision to make Arkansas the destination for outdoor recreation in the United States. The public-private partnership that between Arkansas Parks and Recreation Foundation, the Walton Family Foundation, the Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism, and the City of Little Rock is truly unique and is an only an Arkansas story. We gathered today to share news of an exciting infusion of outdoor recreation in our capital city. News that impacts all Central Arkansans and creates a beacon for attraction and retainment of talent and promotes health and wellness. And with that, I'd like to introduce our speakers for today. We've greatly enjoyed working in partnership with them to make these projects a reality. These are leaders who are trailblazers in these efforts to infuse our state with excitement, capitalizing on our most precious resources, the beauty and adventure of our state. In an effort to limit our interactions today, I'll make all the introductions for the speakers at once prior to them coming to the podium to make their remarks. Joining us first is the Honorable Mayor Frank D. Scott Jr. Since his inauguration on January 1st, 2019, Mayor Frank Scott Jr. has worked to unite Little Rock's diverse neighborhoods through expansion of our economy, creating new opportunities for educational growth for Little Rock students, improving the safety of our neighborhoods, and increased police accountability and improving quality of life. Through a pledge to be Little Rock's Chief Growth Officer, Mayor Scott has overseen the creation of more than 2,700 jobs to date. Mayor Scott has also prioritized the quality of life and place and created the Revitalize, Reimagine, Reinvest Little Rock Parks Task Force to make recommendations for long-range planning and funding sources for War Memorial and Heineman Parks. At his direction, the Department of Parks and Recreation has expanded residents' access to these parks through disc golf, outdoor yoga, and other activities. Scott served a variety of roles for the office of the Arkansas Governor Mike Beebe. Later, Scott was a community banker for First Security Bank, giving him insight into issues facing small businesses across our city. At the same time, he continued to devote time to serving both his city and state as a member of the Port of Little Rock Board of Directors and a member of the Arkansas Highway Commission. As an associate pastor, youth mentor, and professional, Frank lives out the values he learned growing up in Southwest Little Rock, the same area he lives today. He gives back to the city that invested in him and reminds young people regularly that values are the foundation of a purpose-filled life. Mayor Scott earned an undergraduate degree in business administration from the University of Memphis, a master's degree in business administration from the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. City Director Cappy Peck. Cappy is a Little Rock native with deep culinary roots. She and her partner opened the popular Trios restaurant in 1986. Trios has won countless awards for creative cuisine over the decades. Cappy was elected in 2016 to serve as Little Rock City Director for Ward 4. She is unopposed during this election cycle and looks forward to serving the city for 4 more years. She currently serves as a city board liaison for the Parks and Recreation Commission, Sustainability Commission, Little Rock Arts and Culture Commission, and the New Age Friendly Little Rock Commission. She represented the restaurant industry in Little Rock's Advertising and Promotion Committee for 12 years and served as chair during the last year. She co-chaired the successful Restore Robinson Auditorium campaign. Cappy is a member of the Rotary 99, Central Arkansas Executives Association, and is a volunteer chef for the Arkansas Hunger Relief Alliance and assists many charitable organizations across the city. She received the Tikkun Ulam Award for the Jewish Federation of Arkansas in 2018. Tikkun Ulam means reparation in the world in Hebrew. Cappy is passionate about everything she does and enjoys being an ambassador for Little Rock. She's a frequent visitor to Little Rock parks, her favorite being Two Rivers, which is in her beloved Ward 4, just a couple miles from her home. Secretary Stacey Hurst was appointed Secretary of the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism in July of 2019 by Governor Asa Hutchinson. Prior to that, she served as Director of the Department of Arkansas Heritage since January 2015. She is responsible for the work of Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism 3 main divisions: Arkansas State Parks, Arkansas Heritage, and Arkansas Tourism. Arkansas State Parks manages 52 state parks and promotes Arkansas as a tourist destination for people across the country. Arkansas Heritage preserves and promotes Arkansas's natural and cultural history and heritage through 4 historic museums and 4 cultural preservation agencies. The Tourism Division markets Arkansas as a tourism destination and seeks to improve the economy of Arkansas by generating travel and enhancing the image of the state. Secretary Hurst serves as a State Historic Preservation Officer, representing Arkansas to the National Trust for Historic Places, and is an ex officio voting member of the Governor's Mansion Commission. She has served as a member of Governor Hutchinson's transition team following his election in November 2014. Stacey is a lifelong Arkansan who grew up in Pine Bluff and received her Bachelor in Arts degree from the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville. And finally, Gary Vernon. Gary is a senior program officer for the Walton Personal Philanthropy Group, with an emphasis on Arkansas-focused trail and cycling projects. He worked at Walmart for 31 years, most recently as a director of environmental health and safety compliance. Gary is a lifelong cycling enthusiast, with interests including mountain biking, motocross, and motorcycle trials. Gary continues to be active in the local trail maintenance and served as president of the volunteer group Friends of Arkansas Single Track, FAST, in Northwest Arkansas. Gary was a recipient of the American Trails Chairman Award for advancing trail design and changing the landscape for trail systems. Gary holds a bachelor's in arts in marketing and management from Missouri Southern State College. Gary's been married to Amy Vernon for 23 years and has 2 children, Grayson and Abby. Welcome to all our speakers. At this time, I'd like to welcome the Honorable Mayor Frank Scott Jr. to share our exciting news.
Suzanne, thank you so much for those warm introductions. I do want to take the liberty before we make this very intentional, inclusive, and impactful announcement. It does not happen without partnerships, relationships, and those that are committed to the city of Little Rock, as well as the Central Arkansas region, and ultimately the entire state. But a lot of the hard work goes to a team assembled aside me right now, but I also want to make special mention to Suzanne, who's really been a driving force here in the city of Little Rock and has been a member of our R3 Little Rock Parks Task Force. And I also want to take time and special attention to acknowledge the Little Rock Parks Department, and John Eckert, our director, as well as Leland, who's been instrumental, very instrumental in this whole entire endeavor. And it demonstrates what business development means from a parks perspective. So I want to take time to share that appreciation for those individuals. We stand here today as we understand in the midst of a global pandemic, one of the things that you see is unpredictability and uncertainty. But when we see this global pandemic, our lives have been disrupted. And anytime there is disruption, there's an opportunity for value and innovation. And so I'm happy to announce today that through our efforts of working with Suzanne and the Arkansas State Parks Foundation and working with the Walton Family Foundation, working with the Arkansas State Parks, working with our leadership from the City of Little Rock Parks Department and our fearless Ward 4 Director and City Director Kathy Peck, we've seen a number of investments, about $3.8 million in Little Rock and the Central Arkansas region, both starting, you saw last month at Pinnacle Mountain Park, where we had our first ever Monument State Parks Trail. But more recently, we're happy to announce $2.6 million for the City of Little Rock and the Central Arkansas region as we are adding to and revising and revitalizing Two Rivers and River Mountain State Park to create a diverse array from beginning to old mountain biking, where we have more shared use, where we have the ability of the diversity of mountain biking and the whole cyclist tradition here in our city. I think we often understand that in this time that 153% people are now utilizing that increased growth of 153% utilizing outdoors across this nation. And one of the greatest assets that the City of Little Rock has is its quality of life in place as it relates to our natural beauty, as it relates to our parks and trails system that we have right now. And through the partnership and the business development efforts of Suzanne and our Parks Department and advocacy from our City Director, Kathy Peck, we've been able to work with the Walton Family Foundation and Gary to bring these dollars to our city, to add more equity as it relates to parks and trail system right here in our city. Because one of the things, if you wake up on a Saturday morning, whether you go to Pinnacle State Mountain, whether you go to Two Rivers Park or to the River Mountain, you see Little Rock at its best. All of this diversity, you see all races, genders, sexes, you see any and everything on the social economic scale. And we all are one accord. And that is the vision realized of our Unite Little Rock. And it's able to happen as a result of intentionality from the Walton Family Foundation, the Arkansas State Parks, Arkansas State Park Foundation, our City of Little Rock, and the advocacy from City Director Kathy Peck. And so as we are charting towards a Rebuild Little Rock mantra in the midst of a global pandemic, the way that we are able to rebuild Little Rock is to focus on our most precious assets. That is our parks and our trail system. That is the new economic development model for any city who wants to come out of this global pandemic. And that's what we're able to announce today. And it does not happen without the strong partnership with the Walton Family Foundation. So we're grateful for Gary for this opportunity of that $2.6 million that is happening right here in Little Rock in the Central Arkansas region, but more importantly, in the Central Arkansas region, $3.8 million, which will help make us a destination city for mountain bikes and trails. Thank you so much.
I hate to follow the mayor. I really do. I seem to be in that role quite often. But thank you, Mayor Scott, and thank you, everybody. I've been an ambassador for the park system since I was on the city board. It was the first commission I signed up to be the liaison to because I love our natural beauty. I love the outdoors. And do you know, and you didn't mention this, we have 63 parks here in Little Rock. I think I've been to about 50 of them. So this project started 2.5 years ago. I think it was the spring of 2018. And it would not have happened without the visionary leadership of our Parks Director, John Eckert, Leland Couch, Mark Webb, the Walton Family Foundation, and the Arkansas Parks and Recreation Foundation. It's truly a wonderful partnership. At the very beginning, because this was in Ward 4, the most beautiful and wonderful ward in the city. I really wanted to make sure that the Walton Heights and Candlewood neighbors were involved and had a opportunity to voice any concerns. So we had a pop-up back in the spring of 2018 to discuss the proposals, and there were a few concerns. The park staff was wonderful in addressing them with a lot of flexibility. We had a couple more public meetings and got a resounding thumbs up from the neighborhood. So when the Progressive Trail Design Team came to survey areas in the state for mountain bike trails, I think they narrowed it down to 7 or 8, and the winner was River Mountain. And no big surprise if you're familiar with that area, which leads right into Two Rivers. Many believe that this trail system will become the crown jewel of mountain bike trails in the whole state. I mean, there are fabulous ones in northwest Arkansas and right here in central Arkansas as well, but this one is going to be something special and will really put us on the map. Tourism, I believe Stacey's going to speak to that, so I'm not going to go into that a whole lot, but I have to, with my old advertising and promotion cap on, just remind people what a huge economic impact this is for the city. It's not just quality of life and wonderful social and health benefits for our citizens, but national bike tourism represents something like $83 billion in trip-related spending. Wouldn't we like to have just a little bit of that, Mayor? So we want people to come in here and experience our trails and the River Mountain system. It's going to be on every serious mountain bikers' radars. Tourists on two wheels, they spend more than 40% more than a motorist tourist does just because they're around longer. And I'm just going to read a couple of quick stats because I love this. These are the kind of tourists we want. We love these temporary taxpayers. As one of my mentors, Gretchen Hall, taught me long ago, these temporary taxpayers, that means heads in beds and butts in seats. They sleep here, they eat here, they shop here, they support our local economy, and then they go home, and we love that. So 82% of touring cyclists have a college degree. 52 is the average age. I'm not that far behind. 58% make over $75,000, and 8% are international tourists. Very diverse, the kind of people we want to come into our community to enjoy our amenities, to enjoy our trail system, and boost our revenue here. So the partnership, I couldn't be more excited. I love talking to John and other people at parks, see how park usage has just exploded during the pandemic, perfect way to social distance, talk to bike shop owners, bike sales are out the roof, other outfitters that rent paddle boards and kayaks, it's just exploded. What a perfect place to escape safely and comfortably. So I could not be more excited about this. I appreciate your partnership so very much, and I'm so excited for the city of Little Rock. As a cyclist, as a lover of the outdoors, I can't wait. Thank you.
Good morning. I am honored to be here today and on behalf of Stuart and Tom Walton and the Walton Family Foundation to celebrate this partnership, Mayor, with the announcement of the Pinnacle Mountain State Park grand opening and the announcement of the groundbreaking of River Mountain. Thank you, Secretary Hurst, for your leadership and support of the monument trails around the state, and as well as the governor's long support of the movement of mountain biking in Arkansas. Grady Spann, my friend, we met actually 5 years ago, almost to this day, and sat down and talked about an idea, putting mountain bike trails in state parks, and look where we are now. You and your team are leaving a legacy behind that'll be appreciated for generations. You know, thank you, Suzanne Grobmeyer and Amber Brown, for being those superheroes out there on the ground, overseeing the design and construction of the monument trails in state parks, and you're creating world-class destinations for riders around the country and around the world. You know, Pinnacle Mountain is a true gift to the region. I can just imagine park visitors 20 years from now, 30 years from now, wondering what was going on back in these times. You know, where did these trails come from? And I have a warm sense of pride when I see license plates on vehicles with bike racks from states far and wide. And from visitors around the world coming here to ride bikes in Arkansas. And thank you, Mayor, for your enthusiasm and your passionate support of trails. And you have a fantastic parks team and your park director, John Eckert, which I've got to know quite well over the past 2 years. John, your commitment to bringing trails to Little Rock are going to benefit people young and old here for years to come. John and Leland would come up to see me and do some trail research, and we had some good times up there. But it was really his consistent persistence that made this all happen here. So thank you for that. It's been proven that around the state, if you build trails, people will come. There's no doubt about it. But what's more exciting is the fact that if you build it, then local citizens become active. We've proven that as well. And I'm just excited to see Little Rock really become this location that's going to be a destination. And so congratulations, Little Rock. You have become a mountain bike destination. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Secretary Hurst.
Thank you, Gary. It's a true honor for me to be here today. One thing that Suzanne did not mention, which I have to share, Mayor and City Director, is that back before I ran for the City Council, I became involved in a project called Vision Little Rock, if you remember, planning process. And in that process, I led the Parks and Recreation Work Group. And that led to the creation of the Parks and Recreation Commission, believe it or not. So I do have some park bona fides, I guess I wanted to share with you all. But as Secretary of the Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism, I know that I have only the best job in all of state government. Every day I get to identify, protect, and promote the best things about our state. I'm very excited and proud that the work we are accomplishing together is transforming our state and adding to the immense opportunity we have to increase the quality of life we enjoy and to grow tourism. I want to recognize Travis Napper, who is here. He is our Director of Arkansas Tourism. Gary recognized Grady Spann here, our Director of Arkansas State Parks. Grady, thanks for being here. And I want to recognize 2 State Parks Recreation and Travel Commissioners who are here today, Mr. Jim Schamberger and Kayleen Griffith. Thank you all for being here today. You can see how important and excited this project is for us. Tourism is the second largest economic sector in the state of Arkansas, generating an impact of $7.3 billion. We are second only to agriculture. And I like to joke with my colleague, Secretary Wes Ward, that we're coming for you. So you better watch out, because we are putting so much incredible product into the state of Arkansas. We are really transforming this state through these partnerships, and we will reap the benefits of this looking forward. We are very favorably positioned to grow this economic sector because, as the mayor mentioned, because of our abundant access to beautiful nature and the out of doors. We've seen great increases in visitation to our state parks during COVID-19. Grady Spann and his team created a dashboard that we were looking at it daily, we're looking at it weekly now, but we've had 5 million visitors to Arkansas state parks during this calendar year. That's incredible. Our federal partners and the federal lands that we enjoy in the state of Arkansas are seeing robust visitation. So we predict that with the new offerings that we have, like the one we're announcing today, the interest in Arkansas and all that we have to offer will only continue to grow. Partnerships like this one will make Little Rock and Arkansas a more attractive place to live and to visit. I promise you, Mayor, we'll be promoting this to our tourism audience as an incredible recreational asset. In closing, the governor couldn't be here today due to cautions related to COVID-19. He had to change his plans, but he did send a letter, and I'd like to share that with you all now. Dated October 26, 2020, on behalf of the state of Arkansas, I am pleased to welcome you to the Pinnacle Mountain Monument Trail announcement. This project represents Arkansas's continuing dedication to promoting our state as a recreation and tourism destination. I am grateful to the Walton Family Foundation, Gary, for the generous support of this important project, and I am proud of the strong public-private partnership that continues to work together for the benefit of all Arkansans. Through the expanded urban trails connecting Pinnacle Mountain State Park's monument trails to River Mountain and Two Rivers Park, residents and visitors of Central Arkansas will be able to experience the natural beauty of our state in a unique and memorable way. I commend each of you for your commitment to expanding our state's recreation, which improves the quality of life for all Arkansans. Best wishes for continued success. Sincerely, Asa Hutchinson. Thank you again for this opportunity, Suzanne, to work with you all and the foundation. Mayor and Cappy, congratulations on a great project. We look forward to continuing the partnership. And Suzanne, I will turn it over to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. Thank you for everyone who is here in person, and thank you again to all of our speakers. Working with each of you in your respective capacities has been an honor and privilege. Your leadership has made all of this today and the work across the state possible. Seeing a vision for this work takes commitment and innovation, and each of you has had that for our state, and our state is better for it. I urge all of you watching today to get out and experience the newly opened Pinnacle Mountain State Park Monument Trail. You can't truly appreciate the magnitude of the project without stepping foot on the trail. It's an experience that we hope you and future generations enjoy for many years to come. Along with each person up here, and there are teams of people who've worked really hard day in and day out to make these projects possible. They've carried the weight, they've done the hard work, and have encouraged the process. And I'd like to take a moment to say thank you. From Arkansas State Parks, Grady Spann, you have believed in this work from day one and have assembled a wonderful team from park staff to central office. We are grateful for your expertise and the partnership through the years that has brought monument trails from idea to life. I think it's safe to say it's well received. To John Eckert and the Parks and Recreation team at the City of Little Rock, you saw what was happening across our state and raised your hand. You partnered and stepped up whenever called. I think cities across the state will look at Little Rock and they'll want to know more about how you made this happen. So thank you. And last but certainly not least, Amber Brown, our trail project manager. She is our trail expert and she ensures the trails and trains stay on track. Thank you for your hard work. To Arkansas Parks and Recreation Foundation Board of Trustees, Jim Schamberger, Craig Seuss, Brian Day, Jane Rogers, and Ed Nicholson. This organization is doing so much good across the state. And that is because each of you developed this organization to do the work. Thank you. I look forward to seeing area residents, Arkansans, out-of-state visitors of all ages enjoying these trails for decades and generations to come. Hopefully, today's announcement is just the beginning of a movement, and the momentum carries us forward to other locations throughout the community, region, and state. We love being a part of expanding these recreation opportunities throughout Arkansas, and it's rewarding to see the users and hear their stories from their adventures. We hope to see you on the trails. Thank you.